cross-country senior night. Pretty sure. Talk about going the length of the field. Penalty of half an inch, probably.
Can't lose much ball, man.
Zoom in a little bit. It's JV. Maybe for... I mean, literally. Right? Tiffany. State is dominant. I know. Well, DB Cooper's been missing for a long time. DB Cooper's been missing for a long time. for one.
Must have missed that.
Yeah. I did too. Tyler said they had to get me out of that, the blue, the bare leg blue.
Tyler.
The principal.
You say
The kick got blocked.
That's a BS hit! Pull it! Team shot, Rob! Good job, Tigers, really? You need team. I'm glad you're cheering!
What?
if you put player number 10,
Well, football is just a dangerous sport in general.
yeah, well, why does that really matter if there are benefits for somebody if the other team hurt you?
You can write a strongly worded letter to the inventors of football. Of CTE. I don't think so. No, I don't think that would happen.
Okay, let's say if we added a point to the team.
Why would we do that? What if people fake an injury? What would you do then?
Well, it has to be an
How are you gonna determine that?
credible basis.
Oh, so this point system in a competitive sports game is predicated on honesty. People watching the JV game are going to be pretty upset when I start my pregame show in 10 minutes. The game's not over.
Pretty close. We changed centers. This new centers.
Brand new.
They snap a lot slower.
He's gonna pull it.
Big boy.
Go defense!
No, football's funny. Football's just funny. I gotta be at UT State at 6:30. You can sleep. I like the way that kid runs. Powerful run. That's great. I went to the concession stand and all the booster ladies were super nice. So thank you so much for everything I can do.
I was at one school when we were covering Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Oh, you're here for media? We'll give you free."
They fed us for free?
There was actually a couple of them. They were like,
Where was
"Anything you want at the concessions is free
That was
for you
weird.
guys." There was like 2 schools that did it.
Oh, sure. I remember there being a lot of really nice principals and ADs that
Oh yeah, there was.
are awesome Well, that's the game. Well, yes, technically. Correct. When we do the game for varsity, and they're like down at the goal line like that, you can zoom in just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, here to our pregame show today, previewing our matchup between the Westside Pirates and the Aberdeen Tigers, as they have traveled down all the way from Aberdeen for what should be an incredible matchup tonight. Unprecedented. Maybe perhaps earlier in the year you might not have circled this date. If you're a casual fan of football around the state, if you've been following District 5, this maybe could have been one that could have got written off as one of those ones that you sweep underneath the rug. But now we are joined here tonight in a premier matchup between the Tigers of Aberdeen and the Westside Pirates. We are getting ready for more action. It should be really, really cool between two 5-1 teams. We're going to go ahead and continue on into our pregame show today. Thank you so much for joining us here on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM and mylocalradio.com. I am Cody Olsen, the voice of the Westside Pirates. You're going to be hearing me all night long as we cover this game. First off, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, thank our sponsors that make this broadcast possible, to give it to you, the listenership, and all of you online at mylocalradio.com. We'll come right back to you after this on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM and mylocalradio.com.
Tonight's game is brought to you by West Motors, your only stop for new or used cars in Preston and in Logan. Stokes Market True Value, with the freshest meat and produce in town. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and surrounding communities since 1925. Ralph's Construction, building homes in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care you'll receive in all of the Cache Valley. Preston Auto Parts CarQuest, with all the parts you need for your car to keep it running strong. Naylor Insurance, for home, health, life, and auto from Mutual of Emenclaw. Procon Homes, building quality multifamily homes across the West. By Les Schwab Tires, stop in and see the tire experts on Main Street in North Logan. North Star's Ultimate Outdoors, get ready for your next outdoor adventure at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors in Preston. Evergreen Financial. When planning your future, trust the experts at Evergreen Financial in Preston. Level 10 Life. Reach your next level in life with their life coaching sessions. Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Don't leave the things that matter to chance. Call Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency, today. Northern Title, the trusted name in the tri-state area. And by Papa J's Deli and Jerky in Clifton. This game is made possible through an agreement between Cook Brothers Broadcasting and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast of this game in whole or in part without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting is strictly prohibited. Since 2005, North Star's Ultimate Outdoors has been Cache Valley's source for fun and adventure. It's here you can find the biggest selection of snowmobiles, ATVs, utility vehicles, and handheld power equipment from the brand names you know, such as Steel, Polaris, and Yamaha. The professionally trained staff at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors of Preston has what it takes to get you out on the nation's leading brands. The best deals in the best town. North Star's Ultimate Outdoors. It's where the fun starts. 777 North State Street, Preston.
With over 24 years of building multifamily and commercial projects across the Intermountain West, Procon stands apart as a leader in the custom framing industry, driven by the standard of delivering the highest level of customer service, high-quality work, and integrity. Procon is dedicated to building multifamily and commercial properties that exceed customer expectations. Visit online to see why Procon stands above the rest at buildprocon.com.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
This is the Westside Pirates pregame show. Coming up, we'll take a look at tonight's game. We'll hear from the coaches, as well as our outstanding student of the week. We'll also take a look at all of the pregame stats and give you the keys to the game, all leading up to tonight's action. You're listening to live coverage of the Westside Pirates on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. We welcome you into our North Stars Ultimate Outdoors scene set today. It's where the fun starts, 777 North State Street in Preston. Today we're going to preview the game between the Westside Pirates and the Aberdeen Tigers here on a Friday, getting ready for more conference action. And this one is one that maybe wasn't perhaps marked early in the year as a very important game, but now is very much so. Considering the records of these two teams coming in, this is essential for both Westside and Aberdeen to get a win, and it will help them in their conference seeding come playoff time in a couple weeks. Taking a look at the Westside Pirates, they look to build their momentum and wins against the Tigers tonight after wins against Declo and Soda Springs the last 2 weeks. The Pirates come into the matchup tonight averaging 30 points per game offensively, while defensively only giving up 10. That's a fantastic stat line that has been there for a very impressive team the entirety of the year. Coach Tyson Moser has applauded this Tigers team that they'll be facing tonight, has watched them during their jamboree during the summer and also their game against Soda Springs not that long ago. He says he's impressed with the ferocity of this team. They have a lot of energy that perhaps he hasn't necessarily seen before by this team. They're coming in ready, they're fired up, and they want to get a win against the Pirates tonight. The Pirates lead all time against the Aberdeen Tigers 50-8, dating all the way back to a matchup, a Tiger win 13-12 back in 1950. As for the Tigers, they come in 5-1, undefeated in conference play, 2-0, and the Tigers come in after beating then number one ranked in all of 2A North Fremont 24-0 last week. A huge surprise to a lot of media and coaches around the state that saw North Fremont as undisputed and one that was going to be tough to topple over. The Tigers beat them 24-0, not even allowing points for the Wolfpack later on. The Tigers team will feature a new quarterback under center, Brody Beck, the 6-foot senior, after injuries have plagued the quarterback position in a pregame warm-up match against Malad 3 weeks ago.
The Tigers have silently impressed and sit atop at number 1 in the conference rankings, tied with Bear Lake to see who's going to be getting that automatic bid and the highest seeding ranking for the playoffs. As for Aberdeen, they will show the Pirates a true power run scheme offensively. The first time the Pirates have seen that all year round. They average 36 points per game and only give up 9 points defensively, edging out the Pirates in both of those categories. The Tigers' defense, mind you, has only given up the highest amount of the entire year, 19 points, to Soda Springs not that long ago. My name is Cody Olsen. Thank you so much for joining us on our scene set today. We'll bring you back into the action as part of our pregame coverage here between the Pirates and the Tigers on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM and mylocalradio.com.
Franklin County Medical Center is proud to provide excellence in surgical and specialty healthcare right here in our community, making it extremely convenient to receive world-class care without even leaving the county. The best part is that we work closely with your primary care physicians to ensure a convenient and coordinated care experience. Our skilled surgeons are continually adding services to Franklin County, some you won't find anywhere in the greater Cache Valley area. Discover what is available right here at fcmc.org/specialty. You just might be surprised at what we have to offer.
With over 24 years of building multifamily and commercial projects across the Intermountain West, Procon stands apart as a leader in the custom framing industry, driven by the standard of delivering the highest level of customer service, high-quality work, and integrity. Procon is dedicated to building multifamily and commercial properties that exceed customer expectations. Visit online to see why Procon stands above the rest at buildprocon.com.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Bit earlier as Garrard lines up in the gun. 2 wide receivers to the near side, running back offset to his left, a lone wide receiver on the far sideline. Fake up the middle, and they're going to pitch it up. He's got space out in the flat. They're running back there. This is Jack Taylor, and he spun around, and the ball came out. I believe the ball came out, a stripped fumble, and who else to come up with it than Lincoln Henderson, the linebacker, in the red zone. I think this is going to be a question of who's going to get this touchdown, really, more than anybody. Brown under center. He'll drop back, hand it off to Shirtliff, and he lowers his head. Easy strut into the end zone. That's a touchdown for your West Side Pirates. They're going to go up 6-0. 5 yards going from north to south to try and get some more points. 11-11 here in the second quarter. Brown under center. They'll give it off to Parker Moser on the left, and he's up the hole, up to the second level, and he's going to go all the way past the free safety. He's in a foot race. He's going to be running down to the 40-yard line, down the sidelines. Can he make it all the way? A desperation tackle, and they'll catch him 15-yard line. Wow. Keller for Declo. Rolling out to his right, Brown looks down the field, and Bowles is down there. It's caught by Crusade. He'll cut back, make a move, and dive for the end zone at the pylon. That's a touchdown for your Pirates. Brown got destroyed, absolutely blown up in his thighs while throwing the ball, leaving his feet. The velocity and torque of his arm carries it to the 5-yard line. Crusade is there to catch it near the sideline, sidesteps a defender, and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, West Side. Type of hill to climb if you are the Hornets. Brown will under center. He'll look out and give it up to Moser, and he'll stumble forward. Touchdown, Parker Moser on the 2-yard dive.
immediately out of the break. 9:48 in the third quarter.
That was our highlight package from last week against Declo, a win 21-6 for the Pirates. They get ready for Aberdeen tonight in what should be a fantastic matchup. As we said before in our pregame show today, two premier programs, one up-and-coming, rising, probably one of the most underrated, most underappreciated teams in the Tigers up until this point in the season, going to come up and take on the Pirates, who have been a perennial powerhouse, three-time state championships reigning tonight. They're trying to get back to a fourth one. We're going to go ahead and dip into our coaches show brought to you by Evergreen Financial. We're going to go ahead and hear first from Coach Driscoll of Aberdeen. Go ahead and take it away, Coach. We welcome you back into the booth. It is now time for our Evergreen Financial Coaches Show. I'm joined here with Aberdeen head football coach Braden Driscoll. First year at Aberdeen, and the Tigers are doing spectacular stuff up until this point in the season. They looking forward. You might see them really making some waves once playoff time comes around. Coach Driscoll, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Doing really well. Thank you.
Coach, I brought you on, and getting prepped and ready for this game on Friday, it has become a talking point for a lot of people around the state and in 2A. I guess my first question for you was talking a little bit about last week, the game against North Fremont. People were kind of expecting, North Fremont's been very, very good. Aberdeen comes in and holds them scoreless, scores 24 points, and a real eye-opener for a lot of people in the state. What went right in that game, and what worked for your kids so very well to get that score?
Really the boys just really bought into each of them doing their assignments and playing good, sound football. We didn't expect to shut them out. We felt like we could definitely give them a good game and hope to come out on top. But to hold them scoreless was something that, we didn't necessarily expect. But, we felt like we played really good defensively. The kids bought into to playing physical and doing things what we've tried to plan on doing, and they just played their hearts out, did a pretty good job.
Coach, it feels like this Aberdeen team has achieved so many great things this year. They sit on top of the standings right now, along with the rest of with the Pirates and Bear Lake right now in District 5. They've been doing it, and they've been kind of under the radar. What is attributed to your program's explosion this year and achievement from maybe years past? What's been different?
Well, we definitely have a good group of juniors and seniors, and a couple sophomores that help out as well. The kids are, talented. They've had success in the past, coming through youth program and at the JV level, and they work hard. They've worked hard in the off season, and we feel like they've really bought into just doing things right, coming to practice and working hard. And we all stand on the shoulders of those that have come before us. And it felt like Coach Duffin had done such good things with the staff, and really have to attribute a lot of what we do to, not changing a whole lot up. We've got terrific coaches. Coach Derek Jolly is our offensive coordinator, and Coach Jared Reed is our defensive coordinator, and Joe Ingersoll fits right in there with them. They have a lot of experience and had been with Coach Duffin, and before him, Coach Hollingsworth for quite a while, and they just do a terrific job. And also been able to bring on some additional help coaching the offensive and defensive lines with Coach CJ Harris, and Coach Vince King has really stepped in and done a terrific job helping out and helping with the JV, and just feel like we've got a good cohesive staff and good young men that have bought into really working hard and trying to do things right and trying to get better each week. So,
Well, it shows your record right now, the points that you're putting up. Aberdeen has kind of skyrocketed and been in the eyes of the media alike right now. Coach, one of the recent changes, or maybe some news that's coming out of Aberdeen and for the Tigers right now, is a little bit of a forced change at quarterback. Can you tell us a little bit about what that change was and what happened?
Yeah, coming into the season, Brody Beck, who'd been the starting quarterback last year for most of the season, we had him move to tailback and had a junior coming in, Gage Driscoll, a talented, tall, athletic, physical kid coming in at quarterback. And those two just were working terrific in the backfield behind our really good offensive line. And last week, before our Malad game in warm-ups, Gage went down with a knee injury, tore his ACL, out for the rest of the season. And we've felt fortunate in the sense of having Brody just, he could play any position on the football field and be successful. And been fortunate in that instance to have him be able to step over with experience and not miss a beat on that side of it. And we've, definitely losing Gage is a big hit to us on both sides of the ball. But we know that we've got kids that have stepped up and ready to show what they can do as well. But yeah, that's been the change. It's kind of, been an unfortunate situation on one side, but we also know that got some boys that are eager to show what they can do. So.
Coach, this team, this offense has been very impressive for the Tigers. And, I had to double check the stats and look back on the entirety of the year for the Pirates. But believe it or not, this Aberdeen power style run of offense is going to be the first true look that the Pirates have seen all year. The Tigers... have the Tigers faced a similar team to the Pirates wherein they run this wing tee, this power type of this offense? Have you prepared for that at one point in the season so far?
Really probably just in those terms, the closest ones you could say would be North Fremont. North Fremont does not throw the ball near as much as West Side, and it's a little bit different type of power running game. But South Fremont, ran the ball a fair amount as well. But not quite like the wing tee that we see from West Side. So yeah, it'll definitely be a change for us from what we've been seeing in previous weeks. We have faced a fair amount of spread teams and throwing teams as well, and like Westside has as well, if I remember correctly. And so, yeah, it's a little bit of a change for both of us this week.
It should be fun. It should be interesting. Two power teams, two power run teams kind of going at it. A little grinded out and run style of offense. Coach Driscoll, we really appreciate you being part of our interview today. My last question to you is the last two games of the year, obviously you take it 1 week at a time, but the Tigers take on the Pirates, who have been a traditional powerhouse at 2A. And then next week they take on Bear Lake, who sit atop the rankings along with the Tigers and Pirates. How big are these last 2 weeks or these last two games for your team and getting ready for maybe perhaps the state playoffs?
They are big, and every game from here on out's definitely tough. And we just plan on taking it, one day at a time and, one practice at a time and one game at a time. And it's like like they always say, you just take it one game at a time. You don't have to play them both in the same day. You just do the best you can, prepare, and learn your responsibilities, and come out and play. Try to play physical football. So,
Coach, that sounds perfect. We are excited for the game against the Pirates. Is there anything else that you want to touch up on before we end our interview today?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for inviting me on, and excited to come down there to Dayton and see if we can put up a good fight.
We look forward to it. Coach, thank you so very much. We'll let you go. Best of luck.
All right. Thank you.
That was my interview with first-year head coach Braden Driscoll, has made this Aberdeen program look fantastic, sitting at 5-1 on the season right now, about to take on the 5-1 Pirates as part of our Evergreen Financial Coaches Show. Thank you to Coach Driscoll. It's now time to hear from Coach Moser and hear from him. Let's dive right into that interview. We welcome you back in Westside fans to our Evergreen Financial Coaches Show. I'm joined with head coach Tyson Moser, coming off of a win against Declo last Friday. Coach, thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you.
Coach, we'll dive right into the questions here. We're coming up on the last 2 weeks of the regular season. It's huge for the Pirates. This is kind of a question looking back on the entirety of the year. I know it's not over quite yet, but what do you feel has been the biggest improvement by your team since the first game until now?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I think overall, just probably our biggest improvement has just been with each individual kid. I mean, we had a lot of new faces this year, the most new faces we've had in quite a while. A lot of new varsity players. I think just individually them at their positions and watching them get more confident and has been big. I don't know, defensively, I think we've outplayed maybe what our talent level is. I think we've that's been a big surprise. I think how we've played defensively. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's hard to pick one thing, but I looking at the roster over the summer and even into the start of practice, I thought, the defense could really struggle maybe. And some kids on that side of the ball have really stepped up and done a good job.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit in that answer, kids individually finding some I would say swagger, finding some confidence. In recapping the Declo game, 21-6, offensively and defensively, Colton Gunderson with a strip fumble and an INT. Is Colton one of those kids that you feel like has found that confidence and has really done well for this team this year?
Yeah, he just seems to be getting better every week. He played a lot of nose guard for us last year and not a lot of linebacker. So, he just kind of seems to every week kind of be getting a little bit better. And offensively too, he's been playing tight end most of the game and a little bit of running back, and he just kind of seems to get better each week.
Coach, I know that when we visited a couple weeks ago, recapping the game against Bear Lake, you talked a little bit about maybe perhaps varying a little bit from the simple West Side style of offense that you want to get back to. In this game against Declo, we saw your offense have prolonged drives. They were capped off by, like short little runs at the very end, very demoralizing type of offense. Is that the type of West Side simplistic style of football that you were kind of hoping to see against Declo? Was that an example of what you wanted?
Yeah, I think we probably ran 5 different plays 90% of that game, I think. We didn't mix it up a whole lot. The end of the game, Declo had just scored, and rather than giving them the ball back and giving them any kind of momentum, we put together a 12 or 13 play drive, which we didn't score on because we didn't need to. We ran the clock out, but those are the kind of drives that we like, that just keep the opposing team's offense off the field, and when they do get the ball, hopefully they feel like they have to score in a hurry.
Coach, it's funny that you mentioned offenses that you've faced this year wanting to score. I would dare say the majority of them have implemented a more spread style of offense, a more aired out type of offense. This Aberdeen team runs very similar to what Westside does, a power run, misdirection style of offense. For your defense specifically, is there a lot of personnel change and scheme changes? Is it a lot to prep from going from a spread style of offense last week to more of a true power run, or is it just another week to go?
No, it's going to definitely be different for us. We haven't really played a true power offense all season. So it's, Declo had some mixture. They were spreading it out, but they also did a lot of power running. So maybe that game will kind of help us transition, but it's definitely going to be a whole different thing for us. Personnel wise, we don't really have the depth to mix it up a lot. So those same kids are going to, that we've been using to cover the spread offense are going to be the same ones, trying to stop the power run. So it's just the way it is.
Coach, do you feel like your defense is given a leg up, practicing against itself offensively, getting prepped for this game, rather it being you see your own offense all week and you guys are a true power run. Does it help at all in this in the preparation for Aberdeen?
I don't know about that, because our scout team, they spend every week running the other team's offense. So they've been running spread offense, for the last 6 weeks too. So, but like I said, we play physical offensive football so that we can, transition into an aggressive, physical defense. So, the same kids that have to block and run that power offense for us are going to turn around and be trying to stop a power offense. So it shouldn't be much different for them.
Coach, kind of looking at Aberdeen this year, it's been a story that's kind of been building momentum and a narrative. Aberdeen took on what was then number 1 ranked in the state in 2A North Fremont last week, and put up 24 points and didn't let North Fremont score at all. Did you see this type of jump coming from Coach Driscoll and his team this year?
They were definitely. We saw them at camp, not at camp, but our jamboree, middle of August, and they seemed to have a lot of energy. We didn't actually play them, but they were playing across the field from us, and they had a lot of energy that I haven't seen them have for a while. I went and watched them play Soda Springs a few weeks back, and anyway, they're a good football team, and they've been kind of flying under the radar, I think, for a lot of people. But, we've had our eye on them the whole time, and they've always been a tough team for us. So we don't take them lightly at all. And this year, they've got a really good team.
Coach, this matchup between the Tigers is going to be one that a lot of people in the state are going to be watching. And I know that a lot of coaches don't like to play hypotheticals. With the last 2 weeks coming around, how does this matchup against Aberdeen and the potential outcomes for both teams really affect the goals for Westside and the top 3 teams in District 5 and getting into the playoffs?
Well, it's definitely a big game. I think win or lose, we are, we're most likely going to be in the playoffs. But it's all about seeding, So we want to go into the playoffs as seeded as high as we can. Right now, even with our loss, we're still seeded number 1 according to Max Preps, and we would like to stay there. And a loss to Aberdeen is going to definitely hurt that. Beating Aberdeen also keeps us alive. Keeps us at least alive for a possible district championship if they were able to beat Bear Lake the next week. So, it's definitely a big game for us.
Coach, we appreciate you having you on our Evergreen Financial Coaches Show. Best of luck, and have a great week of prep and a great game against the Tigers.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Another fantastic interview that I was able to have with head coach Tyson Moser. They're getting ready. Both of these teams, I am just so excited to be able to be here, give you the voice and the eye to watch this game tonight. 2 fantastic programs in District 5 battling it out for a district title potentially and playoff seeding implications. It's going to be a good one. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, come back to you with our final interview, our special guest star of Aberdeen. And he'll bring us a little bit more information. That is Drayden. We're going to be listening and hearing from Drayden Bedwell. And we'll hear from him after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
It's the goal in everyone's life to reach financial independence and security. Evergreen Financial Partners in Preston can help with strategies to assist in those goals. They will design a plan to suit you, whether it be for your family, home, or current or future investments. Evergreen Financial Partners can help with life insurance, long-term life, 401ks, retirement plans, or mutual funds. Contact the experts at Evergreen Financial and let them put a plan together for you. Find them at 41 West 1st South in Preston, or go online to set your appointment at evergreenfinancialpartners.net. Evergreen Financial Partners, your first step to financial security.
We welcome you back to our pregame show today to preview the matchup between the Aberdeen Tigers and the Westside Pirates District standings conference title on the line here. I'm joined with Daylor Bedwell, Aberdeen Tiger Production Sports Coverage Administrator. Daylor, thanks so much for joining us here on our pregame show today.
Thank you for having me, Cody. I'm glad to be with you today.
Daylor, from what I understand, you've been covering this team. You know them very well. You have kind of taken a lead role in kind of the sports coverage aspect of the Aberdeen Tigers. We have a few questions for you to get to know Aberdeen a little bit better. The first one being, honestly, was it expected that this team was, with a first-year head coach, having to replace a lot of production from last year, was going to make as big of a jump as the Tigers have had up until this point in the season?
That's a great question. Yeah, Coach Braden Driscoll has done a great job stepping in. He's made some small changes to the Tigers. A lot of these boys are very familiar with the offense that they run. They've been running it since they were in middle school. So when these kids really execute, it is just beautiful to watch. It's like poetry in motion.
This is going to be the first time that Aberdeen and Westside will meet this year, obviously, but this is going to be the first time that the Pirates will see a true power run, misdirection type of offense. How do you feel like this game is going to go with both of these offenses running the same type of offensive scheme?
No, I think that's one of the tricks with this offense and also with the Pirates is they both run a very similar kind of offense, which is that ground and pound. So I don't really think there'll be many surprises there. It'll just be whether or not the offense or defense can execute, and it'll come down to which team can execute and hold on to the ball longer, I believe.
I think that's a huge key. That's one of our keys to the game about keeping time of possession away from the other team. Daylor, you mentioned a little bit about execution for defense and offense. 36 points per game offensively for the Tigers, but they only allow 9 points a game. It's a fantastic stat. Do you feel that Aberdeen has a strong side of the football, or do you feel like they're pretty equal in caliber coming into this year?
I really feel like they're really balanced. Something that's really common in two-way football is having to have players play multiple positions on both sides of the ball. And this is no exception for the Tigers. But I do feel like their defense is kind of the catalyst that allows their offense to open things up, because when they're able to possess the ball for long periods of time, it really just shortens the game and allows the Tigers to get more points.
A very similar type of execution that Westside has competed at and won championships for 3 years in a row, doing that exact same thing. Daylor, the Tigers have, in my opinion, they've gone under the radar almost against, in the media in Idaho. They sit atop the standings, tied with Bear Lake #1 in District 5. They've fought to this point. They've won a lot of really amazing games. Why do you think that Aberdeen has flown under the radar so far up until this point?
Well, Aberdeen's a little bit of a smaller school in comparison to some of the other schools in the valley, but I think they've just really shown throughout this year that they're ready, and they're playing really good complementary football at all phases of the game. And with these last two district games, it'll be a tough challenge for the Tigers, but I think they're ready.
These last 2 weeks, like you mentioned, Aberdeen has a real chance, a shot at a district championship, but they have to go through two really, really premier programs at the very end of this. One being Westside here on this Friday. Next week, Bear Lake. These games are going to decide who the district champion is, the seeding and stuff like that. What do you feel like Aberdeen has to do right these last 2 weeks to come away with wins against these two programs in Bear Lake and Westside?
I think it really just comes down to execution. Like I said, these boys have been running this offense for many years, and even with having a first-year head coach and Braden Driscoll, they really have a firm grasp on their offense. And I feel like as they come into each of those games, if they can execute and limit the mistakes, they will be in a really good position to take home a victory in both those games.
When you look at the stat sheets from last week, it almost seemed like the Tigers played a perfect game against the #1 ranked, the North Fremont Huskies. What came together, a 24-0 blank against the Huskies last week that propelled them up to the top here?
The defense really stepped up. The Tigers were able to stop North Fremont on downs 4 separate times, and also were able to get an interception along with that. So we're able to have 5 extra possessions, really help the Tigers, and it just really showed when they execute, they are really difficult to beat.
Last question here. Daylor, you've had a chance to cover the Tigers all year long. You know these kids really, really well. For a West Side fan that might not know for sure who the leaders, the playmakers are for the Tigers this season, who do you feel whose names are we going to be calling out a lot on our broadcast tonight against the West Side Pirates?
That's a very simple question for me. It's Brody Beck. He's our senior quarterback. He just recently moved from running back to quarterback after having an injury. And he is on both sides of the ball. He plays linebacker as well. But that goes without saying. I know Brody would want me to have a shout out for his offensive linemen, anchored by Emmanuel Carrillo, Christian Ortiz, Micah Nelson, Caleb Santillana, Daniel Sandoval, along with his tight ends, Kel Adamson and Trace King. They really anchor that front seven and make it really difficult for those defenders to get a hold of him.
Daylor, we appreciate you doing this interview. It's great to be able to get a look at the Tigers. This is a huge game. I know for certain that, people coming down from the media from Pocatello down to Dayton this week, is there anything else that Pirate fans or fans around the state should know about the Tigers in this matchup that could determine district seeding and playoff seeding as well?
Just know that the Tigers are ready. They're excited for the challenge. As you just mentioned, there's only 2 automatic bids that come out of the 5th district this year, and it would be really nice to get one of those bids. So the Tigers are really they're locked in and they're ready to come into Dayton and also to Bear Lake to have an opportunity to have that top 2 seeding there in the district.
Daylor Bedwell, Aberdeen Tiger Productions sports coverage administrator. Daylor, thanks so much for joining us on our interview today.
Thank you, and go Tigers.
We're going to go ahead and send it right back into the booth right after this.
We welcome you back here into the booth. That was an amazing interview that I had with Daylor Bedwell, Tiger Productions sports administrator. He covers the Tigers and all that they do. Gives us some great insight as to what we're going to be seeing out on the field tonight in terms of what Aberdeen's bringing, what kind of momentum, what kind of play styles as well. We're going to go ahead, take one more quick break, come back to you right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, mylocalradio.com. National Anthem coming up right after this.
We all have those times in life where having insurance has been a great comfort in helping to make a bad situation better. Naylor Insurance takes pride in being that friend there to help you when you need it the most. Serving the community since 1978, Naylor Insurance is proud to represent a number of carriers to fit your insurance needs through Mutual of Enumclaw. Stop by our new location, 223 North State Street in Preston.
With over 24 years of building multifamily and commercial projects across the Intermountain West, Procon stands apart as a leader in the custom framing industry, driven by the standard of delivering the highest level of customer service, high-quality work, and integrity. Procon is dedicated to building multifamily and commercial properties that exceed customer expectations. Visit online to see why Procon stands above the rest at buildprocon.com.
North Star's Ultimate Outdoors is the best provider of power sport vehicles right here in downtown Preston. Vehicles and equipment from brand names that you know and trust, like Steel, Polaris, and Yamaha. Stop in and let us get you ready for your next adventure at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors. It's where the fun starts, 777 North State Street, Preston. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Webb Funeral Home is proud to be the leading provider of funeral services in northern Cache Valley, including southeast Idaho, for almost 100 years. We are a full-service mortuary offering the highest quality services with very affordable pricing. We have plans to meet everyone's budget, from traditional funeral services to graveside services and cremation options. We gladly provide free insurance coverage review, quality headstones and monuments, as well as funeral transcriptions. Let us answer any questions you might have by calling us at 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, a trusted name in funeral service since 1925.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
We welcome you back here into the broadcast booth. I am Cody Olsen, the voice of the Westside Pirates. During the coin toss, the Aberdeen Tigers did defer. They will receive the second half kickoff. The Pirates will start off with the ball. We're going to go ahead, take 5 seconds, and stand by for station identification and come back to you with live coverage here on 105.5 KACH and mylocalradio.com.
A proud member of the Co-op. We save you money on advertising and enable you to reach more customers. We are KACH, Preston, Clarkston, Mink Creek.
We welcome you into our broadcast booth. Once again, it is now time for live play-by-play coverage. We thank you for joining us here on mylocalradio.com or on 105.5 KACH. As we mentioned just previously before, the Aberdeen Tigers did win the coin toss. They will receive the second half kickoff. Here to boot this ball away for Aberdeen, number 7, Nick Medal, the junior. As we appreciate all of you that have joined in here. Give you our clock down in the bottom right corner, and our scoreboard today brought to you by Les Schwab out of the Logan North store here in Cache Valley, and proud supporters of Westside Pirate Athletics. Medal, right foot boot, and it will sail to Parker Moser. He'll take it at the 1 yard line. He'll take it out, coming down the right hash on the right numbers. Stutter steps, cuts back at the 30, makes a man miss at the 40. He's going down the sideline, and he's drugged down right before he crosses midfield. A fantastic return by a fantastic and key contributor to this Westside team, Parker Moser. He takes that one, a 48-yard return from Parker Moser, and that is how you start things off if you're the Westside Pirates. That's the spark that you need, absolutely, as we get ready for more. And here we will see the Westside Pirate offense start here tonight. It was senior night for our cross-country team, recognized earlier on in this game. And the Pirates seem to be pointing at the football, saying that's not theirs. We're going to have to get a little bit of a switcheroo of the football. And the center and quarterback, Eli Brown, recognized immediately. He said, that's not our football, and then we have a little stoppage of play, and now we're back into it. Ball at the 48-yard line of the Pirates. Only have to get 2 yards to get into Aberdeen territory. Brown will go under center. Behind him is Shirtliff. They'll give it off to Shirtliff on the right side. He gets caught up a little bit in some action, blown up in the backfield, but he rolls off a couple defenders, crosses the 50-yard line for a gain of 2.5, maybe 3. First run of the night by Easton Shirtliff, brother of Bryler Shirtliff, who's been a consistent player for the Pirates. He's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this whole season, bullying through the front line. Under center once again. Brown will get off to Moser on the right side. He gets a block, cuts it up, back into the middle. He's up to the 40-yard line and spun around. Flag comes flying in. It bounces off of a helmet, bringing down Parker Moser was Rick Martinez, the junior of Aberdeen, and it's going to be a face mask on the Tigers. That will move them forward deeper into Aberdeen territory. The Pirates working from left to right on your radio dial tonight. They're wearing their all maroons. Aberdeen with their white tops, white bottoms, orange and black accent helmets. They look really cool. I like them. Almost looks like the Cincinnati Bengals type of deal. And Aberdeen tonight, it comes into this game red hot, one of the most underappreciated, undervalued teams, I would dare say, in the state right now. They're 5-1 and atop the standings in District 5. Brown will go under center once again. Middle up the hole is Shirliffe, and he carries Cale Anderson for a gain of 5 or 6 down to the 29-yard line. The Pirates are driving early on in this opening drive in this one. 10:35 left in the first quarter, brought to you by Northern Title, the trusted name in the tri-state area of Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Pirates marching along, trying to get things going. On the right hash, Brown will give it again up to Shirliffe, and this time he stood up for a minimal gain. Not as much as it was last time, but he picks up 4, close to the sticks. It's going to be short, though. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Westside Pirates. Got a good block there from big number 70 for Westside. That's Brendan Balliff, excuse me. Third and 1 coming up at the 26-yard line. Brown will get off to Parker Moser. He makes one cut up to the left, and he gets past the sticks just barely. That will be another first down for the Pirates on an opening drive. They've gone from their own 48 after a huge kickoff return from Parker Moser, have driven 25 yards down to the Tiger 24. Thank you so much for joining us on mylocalradio.com. Premier matchup between Aberdeen and Westside tonight. Brown will give it up to the right side. Moser cuts around the corner down to the 20, makes a move and is diving for extra yards down to the 10-yard line on the right sideline. Parker Moser using his speed around the edge paired with the power running of Easton Shirliffe. It's a hard combo to come after. You got to pick your poison if you're the Tigers tonight. You can stack the box, assuming that Easton Shirliffe, the big bowling ball, is going to get it, and you can stand in there, try and stop the momentum. But you also have to keep your edges solid and tight to keep Parker Moser from getting around the edge and using some speed. Moser will give it off and get it into the middle from Brown. This time it's a middle type of run. Grinded out offense, gets upended by the nose tackle of Aberdeen, number 63, Rick Martinez again. A gain of 3, 2nd down and 6. It was rather a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6 at the 8 of the Tigers. Brown once again, he'll hand it off to Shirliffe. He breaks through the second line, spins off and rolls into the end zone. It's an opening drive touchdown for your Westside Pirates off of the legs of Easton Shirliffe. Moser and Shirliffe do the dirty work, take it all the way down, and score on the opening drive for Westside. PAT unit coming up. Pirates lining up. Shirliffe there to put his boot to ball. Crusage to hold. Snap is down. Crusage keeps it himself, and he's rolling around the edge. He's got some speed, and he goes into the end zone. A 2-point conversion. Seemed like a designated type of run. Crusage just took it himself, ran out to the far sideline, got around the corner, and got into the end zone. Westside will go up 8-0 early on in this one. We'll come back to you in just a moment's time, right after this on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM and mylocalradio.com.
Protecting buyers and lenders in Cache Valley for over 40 years, Northern Title is the trusted name in the tri-state areas of Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. The staff at Northern Title in Preston protect you from unknown complications like access issues, unpaid taxes, hidden liens, or easement restrictions. Choose the right title company. Choose to close with Northern Title of Preston. Good deeds done daily. Call today at 208-852-5700.
We welcome you back here into the broadcast booth. I am Cody Olsen, the voice of the Westside Pirates. The Westside Pirates take their opening kickoff after a huge return from Parker Moser and drive half the length of the field, basically from their own 50-yard line, capped off by an 8-yard touchdown run by Easton Shirtliff. Shirtliff here will now take the kickoff, and he will sail it far and long into the end zone for a touchback. That's where the Tigers will pick up and try and match the scoring of the Pirates early on in this one. Westside currently up 8-0 on the Logan Northwest Schwab scoreboard, and it's worthy to note that the Aberdeen defense, up until this point in the season, has averaged only giving up 9 points a game. 9 points a game, and right now Westside on their opening drive has got their total up to 8 after the 2-point conversion from Cruz Sage. So here comes Aberdeen at their own 20-yard line. Beck will hand it off the middle. No, keep it himself up the left side, and he gets to the second level and rolls close to the sticks up to the 30. Brody Beck, the senior, who's had to step in at quarterback after an untimely, unfortunate injury to Gage Driscoll in a pregame warm-up in Malad a couple weeks ago. Brody Beck, the quarterback now, has really carried this Tigers team in a backup position, but he's played quarterback before. Beck will get it right at his own 25 and hand it up the middle, and he's met by a swarm of Pirates. Not getting anywhere on that run was Hyatt Beck, the junior running back for Aberdeen. Also tonight, worthy to note that this is going to be the first time the Pirate defense will encounter a true misdirection power run exclusively offense. I mean, Aberdeen can throw the ball, but they live and die off of this run, and they are compact, small formation. Beck is going to be right behind the line of scrimmage, or rather in the shotgun. He's got lead blockers to his right, and Beck runs into his own man. That's Hyatt Beck, and falls down for a 5-yard loss, down to the 26-yard line of Aberdeen. 3rd down and 14 coming up for the Tigers. Mis-executed the snap and the run forward. Hyatt Beck runs into Brody Beck in the backfield, and he has to fall down onto one knee, a loss of 4. So at the 26-yard line, Beck will go into the shotgun. Hyatt to his left, lead blockers to his right, compact formation. He's going to go ahead and keep it himself, running up the left side, break a couple tackles, stays on his feet, and rolls to the 37-yard line. A big pickup of 10 by Brody Beck. And we met with Drayden Bedwell earlier on in our pregame show today, and he told us that this game is going to ride off of the shoulders of Brody Beck. And you can see from that run alone that Brody Beck has the capability, the athleticism, I would say chutzpah, the swagger to really carry this team. And he turned a run of maybe what should have been 3 yards into a gain of 10. 4th down and 3 at the 37-yard line of the Tigers. A late substitution, and we have a couple different Tigers that have to wait. Tigers have to wait. Late substitution. They get it off in time. Man is substituted. Ball goes back to the kicker. High up in the air. It's going to be fair caught by Cruz Sage at his own 32-yard line. Nick Medal, the kicker and punter for Aberdeen, kicks it away, and the Tigers get stalled on their first offensive drive after only one first down pickup. And now the Pirates, who were red hot in their offensive possession last time, will take over possession of the football at their own 33. Right smack dab in the middle of the hashes, working from left to right. Brown again under center. Near side motion from Cruz Sage. They'll pitch it out to Parker Moser. He's got a wall, but he stutters, heads out to the right, goes down the sideline, tightrope walking, and they're going to call him stepping out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A 12-yard pickup from Parker Moser, and he's come out ready to play tonight. The running back core for Westside has been impressive. Right now, offensively speaking, Westside moving the chains very consistently. Brown again under center on the right hash. They're going to delay, and it's going to be a pass. Brown will set his feet, throw right down the middle of the field. He's got a man open, breaking. It's broken up. Good defense by number 24, Marshall Elliott, who was the last man who could make a move. Intended man for Westside, Garrett Robinson, who streaked right down the center middle of the field, had an initial step, but Marshall Elliott made up that distance, picked up some speed, and it was broken up, deflected, incomplete at the 20-yard line of the Tigers. A deep pass not completed there. Brown will go ahead and round it off, hand it off to the left for Moser, and he just stumbles forward back to the line of scrimmage after a wall of defenders cuts off his lane to the near sideline. 8-0 here in our first quarter. Brought to you by Northern Title. 5:11 left in quarter number 1. 3rd down and 10 at the 46-yard line of the Pirates on the right hash. Brown has 3 wide receivers on the far side of the field. He'll drop back to pass and roll to his left. He has a little bit of room, decides to run it. He's going to run for the sticks. Down the sideline, he gets to the sticks and past it. That's a first down pickup by Eli Brown. Brown used his wide receivers on the open side of the field to kind of clear the space, and once he got out of the pocket, he was able to pick up the yardage needed for a first down by using his legs and scrambling away from the defensive line. Another pickup down to, this time, the 42-yard line of Aberdeen. Into Tigers territory go the Pirates for the second time tonight. Midway through the first quarter, 4:45 left in this first quarter. Brown will hand it off to Shirtliff in the middle. Gets ahead of steam and a little bit of a rugby scrum after a gain of 4 right smack dab in the middle of the field. There to meet him was Cale Adamson, the senior. And watching a little bit of film by the Tigers, I was very impressed with the linebackers, specifically Cale Adamson. I watched a little bit of film of the Tigers, and Adamson is one that can get lateral from either side of the field and really make some great open field tackles. Here's a sweep out to the right side for Cruz Sage, and he is brought down right at the 40-yard line, a loss of 1. Huge play in the open field by Anthony Mosqueda. Third down and 8 for the Pirates. Colby Bowles will come in from the near sideline, bring in the offensive play call. Last time the Pirates were met with a long down and distance, Eli Brown was able to scramble out of the pocket and pick up a first down. Can he do it again? We'll see. Far onto the far side is Colby Bowles. Brown will give it off to the right, and then Cruz Sage will go up the middle. He gets to the second level and gets sandwiched by a couple different Tigers right to the 30-yard line, but guess what? That is enough for another Westside first down. When the time is needed, Westside has been able to move the sticks despite the amount of distance they need to make up in late down yardage. There on the tackle was Marshall Elliott, who made the initial pass breakup at the opening of this drive. Brown again will drop back, hand it off to Shirtliff in the middle, doing the dirty work, and he gets driven back after a gain of 4. In the area, Nick Metal. Kicker, punter. Brody Beck also in the area, playing linebacker as well, as you often get in these small town teams, whether you be Aberdeen, Westside, Bear Lake, all these teams, you're expected to play basically both sides of the ball. So Beck doing it from the quarterback position and linebacking position. Brown will drop back to pass and roll to his left. He has a man out in the flat. That's Shirtliff in an arrow route. He catches it at the 30 and rolls forward after contact. 3 yards after that, and another first down pickup to the 18-yard line of the Tigers. Shirtliff snuck out of the backfield on the left side, went shallow, only about 5 or 6 yards away from Eli Brown. Brown kind of lofted it high up in the air. Shirtlift came down with it and was able to roll his way forward for an extra couple yards after contact, after being met in the open field. 2:06 in the first quarter. Westside up 8-0 on the Logan North scoreboard. First down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Brown will pass once again. Doesn't have an initial man open. Will scramble, dump it off on the right side for Crusage. Spins off of one tackler, but then cannot escape the second on the right sideline and gets brought down, a gain of 3. Brown initially wanted to go to a man in the middle of the field that was streaking down almost in a fade route in the middle, but couldn't find him. Here goes Brown again, far side motion. They give up the middle. Shirtlift bounces off the initial shackle and then falls backwards, rolls out to his left and gets minimal yardage, maybe a 1-yard pickup. 3rd down and 5. Make that 3rd down and 6 from the 12-yard line of the Tigers. This Tigers defense has been on the field for quite a while, has been out there basically for the entirety of the first quarter so far. We're now under 1 minute left in this first quarter, brought to you by Northern Title. Westside threatening to score in the red zone once again. Brown will hand it off to the left, then back to the right. Parker Moser gets the exchange from Crusage. Can't extend the play to the far sideline, so he'll cut up the middle. Pick up 3, 4th down and 4. Right at the 10-yard line. 31 seconds of the clock remain, and I don't think Westside needs to run a play if they don't want to. They look anxiously towards the sideline, and Brown will lead his linemen in a mother goose and duckling type of formation towards the sideline, and that will be it for our first quarter. Thank you so much for joining us here on mylocalradio.com. 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM. We'll come back to you right after this quick break for the second quarter, right after this.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
There's no better family activity than a night out at the movies. Worm Creek Opera House Theater on State Street in Preston is your local home for first-run family movies. The historic theater offers top-flight comfort, the coolest refreshments, and quality entertainment, all at family prices. Stop by the Worm Creek Opera House at 70 South State Street in downtown Preston. For tickets, show times, and a list of upcoming attractions, go to wormcreek.org.
Welcome back, Westside and Aberdeen fans, to our mylocalradio.com presentation of Westside Pirate football. We bring you back into the broadcast booth. I am Cody Olsen, the voice of Westside. Our score right now, getting ready for the second quarter, Westside up 8-0, taking it the length of the field on their opening drive, getting the ball first. Aberdeen is caught up, only moving the sticks once, punts it back to Westside, and now the Pirates in the red zone, but facing a 4th down and 3 from the 10-yard line of the Tigers. Brown will let the motion of Crusage go out to the far sideline, and we're going to get a timeout. Coach Moser takes the timeout, expecting that the hard count would catch the Tigers off guard, but the discipline exhibited by Aberdeen does not fool them. They got to come up with another scheme in the huddle. We'll take one more quick break and come back to you after this on 105.5 KACH.
North Stars Ultimate Outdoors is the best provider of power sport vehicles right here in downtown Preston. Vehicles and equipment from brand names that you know and trust, like Steel, Polaris, and Yamaha. Stop in and let us get you ready for your next adventure at North Stars Ultimate Outdoors. It's where the fun starts, 777 North State Street, Preston.
With over 24 years of building multifamily and commercial projects across the Intermountain West, Procon stands apart as a leader in the custom framing industry. Driven by the standard of delivering the highest level of customer service, high-quality work, and integrity, Procon is dedicated to building multifamily and commercial properties that exceed customer expectations. Visit online to see why Procon stands above the rest at buildprocon.com.
We welcome you back out of the timeout taken by Westside at the very beginning of the second quarter today. So initially we saw a field goal unit come out for Westside, and then Westside pulled that field goal unit out, and out comes the offense once again. We were going to see a very once-in-a-blue-moon field goal from Westside. Brown will pitch it out to the left side to Cruz Sage. Sage will cut, go to the corner, and dive towards the goal line. It looks good and is good. Touchdown. Cruz Sage on the pitch out to the left side, a pickup of 10 yards and in, and Westside will go up 2 scores to begin the second quarter here in Dayton at Lyle S. Henderson Field. So the decision to keep the offense out onto the field pays off for Westside. They end up picking up 10 yards when they only needed 4 and get into the end zone. Easton Shirtliff will get his steps and measurements, line up for the PAT. Snap is down, kick is up, high, arcing out to the right side, and is good. Sneaks inside the right upright, and that is a 15-0 lead for your Westside Pirates early on in this second quarter. We'll take a quick break, come back to you, and see what Aberdeen can do to answer back right after this on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM.
Level 10 Life provides skilled, one-on-one life coaching sessions to help you unlock your next level in life. Our trained professionals specialize in health, life, and career coaching. Book a free consultation today at level10lifecoach.com.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Welcome back to the beginning of the second quarter. Your Westside Pirates currently up on top of Aberdeen 15-0 after 2 for 2 on their offensive possessions against a very, very good Aberdeen defense that only gives up 9 points a game. That was one of the matchups that we talked a little bit about in the pregame show, whether it would be, an offensive game, defensive game, who's going to win the battle in the time of possession, and right now everything coming up Westside's way. Fielded on the left by Aberdeen, and they'll go up in the middle for the kickoff return, get met by a swamp and a swarm of Pirates. Falling forward down to the 25 was the return man, number 24, I believe, Marshall Elliott. 11:30 left here in the second quarter. Easton Shirtliff was there to tackle down the carrier for Aberdeen. So now we're seeing what needs to be some points for Aberdeen right now. You cannot play behind considering the offense of what Aberdeen does. A handoff up the middle and up into the second level, getting past the line and the linebackers. Hyatt Beck with a 9-yard pickup right up the middle. Big, strong run, and he almost is small enough, his frame is small enough that he sneaks past the defensive line. And this is what Westside does offensively as well. You know, they have that misdirection, that counter, that little dive play, and the goal of this type of offense is to make up for, not necessarily the lack, but when you have small linemen, you try and use your speed and misdirection of the running backs to get to that second level. That's exactly what Aberdeen did on that first play from the line of scrimmage. Beck will get the snap. He'll take it himself up to the left side, cuts around the corner up to the 40, spins forward to the 45. A 10-yard pickup from Brody Beck, and the offense of Aberdeen starting to get a little bit of steam and moving forward. Clock will continue to roll with 10:30 left here in our second quarter today. Would like to shout out our special sponsors, including West Motor Company here in the Preston and Franklin County area, allowing us to broadcast to you this game, as well as Les Schwab Logan North, the Les Schwab Logan North store, currently reading 15-0 in favor of the Pirates in the second quarter. Beck will give it off into the middle for Hyatt Beck. A 1-yard pickup on that dive play. That run not getting past the initial defensive line of scrimmage. I think number 61, Trey Priestley, there to tackle for West Side. Shed his block on the right side, flows down the line, wraps up Hyatt, and brings him down after a minimal gain. Back up to the line of scrimmage, a quick break of the huddle, and the backfield of the Tigers looking towards the sideline and looking for direction. Beck at his own 40-yard line in the gun, short side motion. He'll go right up the middle once again. Easton Shirtliff and company will meet him, but a pickup of 4 right down the middle, and that ball will be spotted just kitty corner, maybe a couple inches off of the 50-yard line. 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter before halftime. 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers. Tigers and Pirates, both with their offensive scheme, eat up a lot of clock. And as you can tell, this game I don't feel like has been going on very long, but we're already midway through the second quarter. Beck, another short motion on the left side. They'll give it off to Hyatt Beck this time, and he uses some speed to squirt up and gets caught by the safety, Colby Bowles, past the sticks down to the 43-yard line. And you see Brody Beck, the senior, a little bit bigger bodied as a quarterback. He's able to use that power to move the sticks forward on his running capabilities. And then you see Hyatt Beck, the junior, maybe a little bit smaller frame, able to use his speed to get that extra advantage. Almost the dichotomy and mirror images of what Shirtliff and Moser do for West Side. Brody Beck will fake it off to the right, keep it on the quarterback read option, up to the left side and down to the 40-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6 at the Pirate 40-yard line. Pirate defense really wasn't on the field a terribly long time in the first quarter, comparing that to the West Side Pirate offense. Pirate offense were able to put together 2 long sustaining drives that ended in points, and that's why they're up 15-0. Beck and the Tigers trying to match that energy. Quarterback keeper on the right side, and he'll get tripped up by number 25, Colton Gunderson. 3.5-yard pickup. We're going to be seeing 3rd down and 4 at the 39-yard line of West Side. Tonight's matchup is going to determine playoff seedings in a highly contested district, District 5 and 2A. West Side, Aberdeen, and Bear Lake all fighting. They're all at the top for that first-round bye, considering how these last 2 weeks go. Aberdeen will play West Side tonight, and immediately afterwards in the next week we'll go out to Bear Lake, I believe, and play the Bears to determine final standings. Beck in the shotgun, motion Hyatt Beck to his right, and they're going to take a timeout. Brody Beck didn't like what he saw. He looks over to the sideline, motions to the white hat. I want to take a quick breather and figure this out. 6:37 left in the second quarter. 3rd down and 5 coming up after this quick break on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
Whether it's your vehicle, home, business, or even life, protecting the things that matter most shouldn't be left to chance. At Farm Bureau, the Smith Agency, everything that is important to you is important to us. That's why our office and agents are united to protect your future and give you peace of mind today. I'm Brittany Smith. As your local Farm Bureau agents, my husband Braden and I would love to customize and simplify plans that are unique to you and what you care about. Stop in today and see how Farm Bureau can make insurance simple for you.
Webb Funeral Home is proud to be the leading provider of funeral services in northern Cache Valley, including...
Thank you, and a special shout out to Webb Funeral Home, a proud sponsor of Westside Pirate Athletics. We're back into the action now. Beck will go into the shotgun, 3rd down and 4 coming up from the Pirate 39-yard line. Beck will fake out the pitch to the left, and he gets past the sticks and up the middle. Swarmed by a couple different Pirate defenders after he is stopped at the 37-yard line. Needed 4, and he picks up way more than that. Driving deeper into Pirate territory, and I've been impressed with Brody Beck's ability to run the football tonight. Neither team really relying on the pass the whole time. We saw a few passes from Westside in the first quarter, but Aberdeen has not showed us any type of passing offense. They're electing to go misdirection, power, and they think that they can beat the Pirates doing that. Beck again in the shotgun with a running back to his left. He'll hand it off to Hyatt. Beck in the middle. Minimal gain, wrapped at the ankles by number 70, Brendan Bailiff. 2nd down and 9 from the 25-yard line, working into Pirate territory on the right side of the field. Beautiful, crisp night. You can tell that it's hunting season. The elk, the deer, they're out there, but you probably can't find them if you're like me. Well, you need to tell me where they're at then. If anybody has good information, then go ahead and call the radio station because I'd love to know. All right, another timeout taken by Aberdeen. 2nd down and 9 coming up at the 25-yard line. One more. We're going to go ahead and keep it here, actually. We'll keep it here. 5:20 left here before halftime in our second quarter. We've seen the power and the capabilities of both offenses. Aberdeen on an extended, long offensive drive right now, and they desperately need points. Down 2 scores, 15-0 on our Logan North Les Schwab scoreboard. I am Cody Olsen, the voice of the Westside Pirates, joined here with the one, the only, my beautiful wife, Melissa Olsen. Here on MyLocalRadio.com, we are proud to be partnered with multiple businesses around Franklin County and Cache Valley to give you this coverage that allow us to give you this online at MyLocalRadio.com. To recap some of the scores that we've seen so far, long extended drives from Westside. They're 2 for 2 on their offensive chances. A first quarter 8-yard rush by Easton Shirtliff, and a second quarter 10-yard pitch out for Crew Sage has the points for Westside tonight. 2nd down and 9, Brody Beck in the shotgun, motion to the far side. That's Elliott. There'll be a pass, far out to the left side. That's connected with Elliott on the left. He'll make a dancing move on the right side, tiptoe down the side towards his own bench and gets past the sticks to the 14-yard line. So the first pass of the night attempted by Brody Beck. He sat back in the pocket off of the play action. Westside, was expecting the run. Didn't sit out in the flat in the shallow area on the left side of the field. And Beck, connects with Marshall Elliott for a 10-yard completion and the moving of the sticks once again. 1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Beck once again in center, near side motion. He'll go right up the gut on the quarterback draw. 2-yard pickup for Brody Beck. And, I talked with head coach Braden Driscoll, as well as the rest of our media that we met with, including Bedwell, Mr. Bedwell, Dreyer Bedwell. And I met with him, and they talked a lot about what Brody Beck can do with his legs offensively and what a leader he's been. He's not unfamiliar. That's a double negative. Not unfamiliar with the quarterback position before, meaning that he's played it, but didn't start. They're going to go ahead and get the snap on the right side, put it off to Beck. This is Hyatt Beck. Ball's coming out at the 10-yard line, jumped on by the Pirates, and our near side judge says that the knee was down, and I can't say that I disagree with him. I think he was. That was a quick 1-2 of contact being down and the ball squirting out. And that will remain with the Tigers. 3rd down and 1 coming up. That ball comes falling out of the arms of Hyatt Beck. And I really livened up the crowd here underneath us on the west side portion of the field. 3:50 left in the second quarter. Third down and 1. Still in the shotgun, Brody Beck with all of his linemen and 2 wingbacks in the formation, multiple motions, and that's going to be a penalty, an illegal shift. Brody Beck picks up the first down, but 2 men in motion prior to the snap happening is going to be an illegal shift on Aberdeen, and that's going to march him back a little ways. They'll pick up the flags, and flags came over all over the field. Our pink flags for cancer awareness in the month of October. So what was a 3rd down and 1 for the Tigers, that ball is moved backwards 5 yards. A 3rd down and 6 coming up. And now the offensive playbook, maybe a little bit more limited than what you had on a short down needed pickup. Tigers hustle to the line. Beck will go into the shotgun. Right side is Hyatt Beck. It's a pass. He'll look out to the left in the flat, and he'll launch it far out and away. Beck throws that ball out and away. 4th down and 5 will come up for the Tigers. I thought initially he had a man open, but that ball sailed on him out the far sideline, right at about the 15-yard line. So now one more chance for the Tigers. That illegal shift really coming in at a bad time as the Tigers have driven the length of the field. And these type of offenses, as I've mentioned before, are not built. They're not designed to make up a large amount of points in essentially playing from behind. 4th down and 6. Let's see what Coach Driscoll has in the playbook here. Westside's going to take a timeout after looking at the formation. 2:59 left before halftime. We'll take a quick break and come back to you right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
Whether it's your vehicle, home, business, or even life, protecting the things that matter most shouldn't be left to chance. At Farm Bureau, the Smith Agency, everything that is important to you is important to us. That's why our office and agents are united to protect your future and give you peace of mind today. I'm Brittany Smith. As your local Farm Bureau agents, my husband Braden and I would love to customize and simplify plans that are unique to you and what you care about. Stop in today and see how Farm Bureau can make insurance simple for you.
We welcome you back here into our second quarter. 2:59, if you want to be precise, left before halftime. Aberdeen has driven the length of the field, has eaten up basically an entire quarter's worth of football, and right now they're facing a 4th down and 6 right at the Pirate 10-yard line. They've got to get to the 5 for another set of fresh downs. Beck will be in the shotgun to his right, running back Hyatt Beck. He drops back to pass, steps up into the pocket. He's got pressure, and he's brought down from behind. That's a sack for your Pirate defensive line. Aaron McDaniel and Dylan Ralphs in the area to seal it off and say absolutely not. Rejects points the Tigers desperately so needed here in this first half. Now the Pirate offense will come back out on the field, having a fresh set of lungs. Depending on if you're playing both sides of the ball, which most of these kids are. Got to be just hard to swallow a little bit if you're the Tigers. You've driven the length of the field and then just get stopped in the red zone. That's huge for the West Side Pirate defense. Brown Almost lined up under his left guard. Finally goes under center. We'll give it off to the right side for Shirtliff. Gets spun around by his shoulder pad and goes forward. A piece of laundry will come flying in. And now I was a little bit of a ways away, but you could see Shirtliff get spun around pretty quickly. Shirtliff comes up and motions to his face mask, says he got grabbed around that point, and our white hat agrees. Face mask penalty called on the Tigers. That will march them even farther after the 5-yard run by Shirtliff. That's a huge penalty of 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down and 10 from the Pirate 30-yard line. Right in the middle, Brown will again line up under center. He's got 2 running backs behind him. Near side motion by Crusage. Again to Shirtliff, who will make one cut, go out to his right. Stretch his body forward for a pickup of 5. And you can imagine right now, if the Pirates were able to score with 2:18 left remaining before halftime, that this is going to be a massive climb for the Tigers to come back in the second half, considering how this game is built off of the run and lots of grinding it out and not a lot of time. Brown will drop back and roll to his left. Looks down the field. He's got a man in the flat. Gets it over the top. It's tipped. Incomplete at the 45-yard line. Good coverage by number 28, Juan Hernandez. Hernandez out there in coverage, going toe-to-toe or stride for stride in that shallow flat route with Easton Shirtliff. Hernandez gets his hand out there and tips the ball, gets that deflection and stops the clock with 1:59 left. Brown, near side motion, hands it off in the middle by Parker Moser. He runs right into his offensive lineman and gets stood up. Play is called dead after forward progression is stopped. I don't know if he ran into Shad Grohl or if he ran into Brendan Balliff. Either way, he doesn't go much of anywhere. Clock will continue to roll underneath 90 seconds left before halftime. And you have to imagine that Coach Moser might try and get the Tigers to give this first down the easy way with a hard count. Westside taking their sweet time in the huddle, and Moser's just holding on to his offensive play caller on the near sideline, waiting for the clock to tick down. He'll take his final timeout, and that will be a smart move by Coach Moser. He runs out of timeouts for the half. That stops the clock at 1:11 remaining before halftime. We'll keep it here. From what we've seen so far in this game, the Aberdeen offense taking just a tad longer to start offensively, but when they did start rolling offensively, they were able to move the sticks the entire length of the field, but got stood up by the Westside Pirate defense in the red zone. A sack on 4th down stops the progression, and now Westside has moved the ball from their own 10-yard line out to their own 35, working from right to left on your radio dial. And we're going to see a 4th down and 5 call. Coach Moser has some time to come up with what he wants. You can play it conservative, be content with a 15-0 lead at halftime, try and bleed out the clock as much as you can off of maybe a run up the middle, or thinking that Parker Moser can get out to the right side, or you can do what he's actually going to do, and that's send out the punt unit. 1:11. And the Westside Pirate punt unit will come out. The first time we've seen the punt unit for the Pirates today. Moser will go out to the right side in motion. Shirtliff will grab it after putting boot to it. Ball goes high up in the air, takes one hop bounce, grabbed by Elliott. He swings off of one tackle, tries to reverse field, and the initial tackler that missed it the first time gets him the second time. That's Lincoln Henderson. Not giving up on the play. And we have a pink piece of laundry, again out on the field near midfield. Looks like it's going to be holding, maybe, and now I'm just interpreting the calls. A helmet-to-helmet. Helmet-to-helmet call from our white hat on the Tigers. Blindside block. I made our PA announcer say the wrong thing. That's my bad. It's a blindside block. Blindside block on Aberdeen. And that's going to march the ball back a little bit farther, so towards their own end zone. So the ball will remain with Aberdeen, but that ball gets moved backwards. And the penalties tonight against the Tigers have really come to bring them into positions that they don't want to be. An illegal shift after the end of their long drive puts them behind the sticks too far when they tried to pass on 4th down, and now a blindside block pushes them back even farther. 1st down and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Tigers. A handoff to the left side. This is Beck refusing to go down, picks up 9 on the left side. Crusage was there to make the tackle. 42 seconds left before halftime. Hyatt Beck, and Aberdeen's taking their time to get to the line. 30 seconds remaining left in the first half. Beck will hand it off to Hyatt, and he'll follow his blockers, get grabbed around the waist and thrown forward. A pickup of 6 stops the clock. As soon as they set the sticks again, the clock will continue to run. We have 20 seconds left before halftime, and there goes the clock once again. Tigers have got to get to the line if they get one more chance in them. 8 seconds remaining. Beck with 4 seconds. Can he get the snap off? Just in time. The ball is low. They're going to hand it off to Elliott, and he gets caught in the backfield, falls forward for a pickup of 1, and that is going to be your halftime score. West Side up 15-0 over the Aberdeen Tigers here in a District 5 conference matchup for playoff seeding rights. We're going to have a 15-minute halftime show. Come back to you right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
Hi, my name is Penny Wright, born and raised in Preston. I am your local Medicare agent. I am here to give you the knowledge you need so you can make an informed and wise choice for your Medicare needs. Call me at 208-852-2367 if you're turning 65 or have any Medicare questions.
Whether you're in need of timber frame buildings, estate entrances, trusses, pergolas, pavilions, or gazebos, the craftsmanship at Milestone Timberworks reflects our passion and commitment of building for the future. At the beginning and end of the day, it's about achieving the built environment where the truly great moments in life are experienced. We look forward to working with you. Visit milestonetimberworks.com today.
It's the goal in everyone's life to reach financial independence and security. Evergreen Financial Partners in Preston can help with strategies to assist in those goals. They will design a plan to suit you, whether it be for your family, home, or current or future investments. Evergreen Financial Partners can help with life insurance, long-term life, 401ks, retirement plans, or mutual funds. Contact the experts at Evergreen Financial and let them put a plan together for you. Find them at 41 West 1st South in Preston, or go online to set your appointment at evergreenfinancialpartners.net. Evergreen Financial Partners, your first step to financial security.
We welcome you back into the broadcast booth. It is now time for our halftime show today. The Westside Pirates are going to be on top of the Aberdeen Tigers, 15-0 in this one, as we get ready for more action. Brought to you by Level 10 Life. The trained professionals at Level 10 Life are here to help you achieve your next level in life. You might be feeling like you're stuck in life, a rut perhaps. You want a career change. You want some help with healthy decisions. Maybe you want to get a weight goal met. The trained professionals at Level 10 Life and their live coaching sessions will help you achieve your vision. As now we dip into our halftime show today, what we've seen so far. And coming into this one, we were expecting, a matchup that will determine playoff seedings in a highly contested District 5 into a, West Side, Aberdeen, Bear Lake, all fighting for a first-round bye. Considering how these next 2 weeks will go. Tonight, the three-time defending state championship Pirate football team has been taking on truly what I believe to be one of the most underrated, underappreciated, uptrending teams in all the state of Idaho against the 5-1 Aberdeen Tigers. The Tigers come off of last week after a 24-0 win against then-ranked #1 North Fremont. They beat the Huskies in dominating fashion. And right now, what we're seeing is time of possession, execution, and capitalizing off of opportunities. The Pirates are going to be out in front 15-0 here at halftime. And this is something that you would love to see if you're a Pirate fan, and maybe if you're an Aberdeen Tiger fan, you're thinking like, we're so close. We drove the length of the field early in that second quarter, ate up the entire second quarter in terms of time, and then got caught up and stopped in the red zone. I believe that Aberdeen is finally kind of getting their motor going. They just weren't able to capitalize, and now they have to play from behind in an offensive scheme that's not really meant to play from behind. Westside knows that exact same type of feeling. This offense is predicated off of misdirection, grinding out the clock, and moving forward and front running. And right now, Westside is out in front and doing that exact thing. Our halftime show today is again brought to you by Level 10 Life, but there's tons of awesome sponsors here in the Cache Valley and Franklin County area that are proud sponsors of Westside Pirate Athletics and our broadcast here on mylocalradio.com, including Milestone Timber Works and Papa J's Beef Jerky out of Clifton, Idaho. That's a small town. That's a world-class jerky in small town USA. Go out there and enjoy some of their awesome sandwiches. Their beef jerky, a wide selection, super duper good. Would highly recommend. You're missing out on a great piece of Americana if you're not going out there to Papa J's. We're going to go ahead, take one more quick break, come back to you with our stats, our adjustments that both of these teams can do, and what we can see later on in the second half in order to make this game closer, what Westside can do to kind of put this game away, and what Aberdeen can do to come back into this one. I am Cody Olsen, your voice of the Westside Pirates here on mylocalradio.com. We'll come back to you right after this. A special shout out to our cheer squad and the wonderful, lovely Lynette Butters for putting on this great program for these young girls tonight. That was fantastic. If you're not here in person, you are truly missing out. Now we're going to get the real cheer squad to come out here and do a great routine as all the lovely little ones come back and flood into the stands. It'll be great. We'll come back to you right after this on 105.5 KACH 1340 AM and mylocalradio.com.
Sometimes in life, the next level seems to be just out of your reach. You know you could reach your goal if you could just figure out what's blocking your success. The trained professionals at Level 10 Life offer life, health, and career coaching. These professional coaching sessions will help you put the next piece together in your puzzle. Don't wait. The coaches at Level 10 Life are here to help you reach your next milestone in life. Schedule a free consultation online at level10lifecoach.com.
People oftentimes ask us, why do people from other areas of the valley or other parts of the state or drive so far to come here? And a lot of times I'll ask them, so why did you drive past several different dealers to come and buy your car here? And a lot of times they say, I just like the environment here. I like the low pressure. They don't play games. You guys are straightforward with me. You don't, trick me into buying something I don't want. We take care of people the way we want to be treated, and so they'll drive a ways to do that.
Bought my first truck from here in 1992 when I was 14 years old, and been buying trucks and a few cars ever since. I'm always referring friends, family, anybody I talk to West Motor Company.
We have a good time here, We have a great team of employees that we encourage them to have fun. Play at work is kind of one of our mottos.
West Motors will treat you like family.
WestMotorCompany.com
PregamenePreps.com.
Bringing you back into the broadcast booth, I am Cody Olsen, joined with the lovely Melissa Olsen here in Dayton, Idaho, at Lyle S. Henderson Field. What we're seeing right now is the Westside Pirates out on top, 15-0 over the Aberdeen Tigers. Both teams 5-1, trying to battle it out to see who can get the upper leg late in the season for a district title. Right now, one loss. And it was in conference for Westside against the Bear Lake Bears, makes things a little bit complicated. And this is playing huge hypotheticals, obviously, but if Westside were to remain on top and to beat the Aberdeen tonight, and Aberdeen were to go out to Bear Lake, it would cause a three-way tie for first place. Now, on the other hand, if Aberdeen were to go out and beat the Pirates tonight and go out to Bear Lake and beat them, they would win the outright district title, and then you're going to have to go to RPI. You're going to have to figure out if you're a Pirate fan, are we going to be in second place? Probably not, losing to Bear Lake, depending on what happens, as the Bears right now are playing Soda Springs, and I'm going to try and get you that score as soon as I possibly can. They're out there trying to figure it out. I believe in Bear Lake, a matchup between those two teams. So about 6 minutes left before our third quarter. Let's going to go ahead and give you the recap and some stats. Westside will receive the opening kickoff, and a 48-yard kickoff return by Parker Moser to midfield will set up the Pirates beautifully. They go the rest of the length of the field, capped off by an 8-yard touchdown rush by Easton Shirtliff with 8:28 in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, the field goal unit initially goes out for Westside after the timeout, and then they bring them back, and then they send out the offense, and they give a pitch out to the left side for Cruz Sage. He takes it 10 yards. From 10 yards out and finds pay dirt. The two-point conversion successful on that first touchdown in the first quarter, so we have a score of 15-0. In the second quarter, Aberdeen drives the length of the field. They eat up the entire second quarter, shows what their offense is capable of, but then after an untimely, just a detrimental and a snake-bitten type of penalty, I mean really an illegal shift on 4th down and 1, makes it 4th down and 5 in the red zone for Aberdeen. And then subsequently on the next play, a sack by Dylan Ralphs, and Aaron McDaniel turns the tide and denies Aberdeen any points. Westside kind of eats up the rest of the clock, punts it away late, and that is where we are at until this point. We're going to go ahead and take one more really quick break, come back to you right after this for our adjustments of the game. And we'll bring you more play-by-play live coverage here in Dayton between the Tigers and the Pirates right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
When you are looking for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but you want something that is ready to eat now, always stop at the Stokes Market Deli in Preston. With cold and hot cases, you can always find food that is fresh, hot, or cold. Sandwiches, soup, salads, deviled eggs, donuts, wraps, cheese trays, desserts, and a hot and delicious buffet. A meal out doesn't have to be at a restaurant. Come and enjoy something for everyone at the Stokes Market Deli today. 217 South State Street in Preston.
There's no better family activity than a night out at the movies. Worm Creek Opera House Theater on State Street in Preston is your local home for first-run family movies. The historic theater offers top-flight comfort, the coolest refreshments, and quality entertainment, all at family prices. Stop by the Worm Creek Opera House at 70 South State Street in downtown Preston. For tickets, show times, and a list of upcoming attractions, go to wormcreek.org.
We welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Our stats portion of halftime brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Farm Bureau and Braden and Brittany Smith, fantastic people. I wouldn't say better, because that would assume that they were better insurance agents than people, which I don't really agree with. I think they're equal in the way that they project themselves. great people, great insurance agents, Brittany and Braden Smith out in Preston helping you protect the things which matter most. They give us our halftime stats tonight. We gave a little bit of a recap right now. A few passes in this game, but mostly we've seen a lot of power running, and that's what we expected coming into this one. Right now, Easton Shirtliff and Parker Moser, along with a little bit of a sprinkle of Crew Sage, has led to a lot of success for the Westside Pirates. They're up 15-0 over the Aberdeen Tigers at halftime. It's time for us to dive into our adjustments. And now, I personally like to self-proclaim as a very amateur type of fan of football, so I'm going to make all of you listen to what I think these teams could possibly do. Let's talk with Westside. I think a perfect example of what Westside did is exemplified in their time of possession and their success rate when holding on to the football. 2 for 2, or rather 2 for 3 in the entire first half, holding on to the football and eating up a lot of time. Westside, if they're able to be successful, go the length of the field, and come away with points, that is how you win the game. I mean, truly, it's as simple as that. For Aberdeen, you've been able to see the running capabilities of Brody Beck and Hyatt Beck, and it's worked out for them. You've seen them in the second quarter eating up the entire time, as Westside will come back out onto the field out of halftime, some fireworks. What Aberdeen could probably do is, it really comes to simplistic things. You got to keep Westside honest. And if you don't have the offensive style of maybe airing it out, you've got to be able to keep the defense guessing of where you're running the ball. You have a great running back and running duo of Brody and Hyatt Beck. You got to go different directions, and ultimately, you need to come away with points in the red zone. They could not do that in the first half, and that is what has led to a pretty big advantage and a deficit right now for the Tigers. Red zone efficiency, if we're going to see 100% in the second half, and that is including getting a score, getting 2 scores, you're going to come back into this game. We're going to have 3 more minutes left before our warm-up and halftime. Thank you so much for joining us here on 105.5 KACH. We'd like to go ahead and thank all of our fans from Aberdeen that have traveled out here to Dayton to cheer on their Tigers and recognize their staff. Principal of Aberdeen, Travis Pincock, and Athletic Director, Cody Park. They have been fantastic to let us, and they've been really willing to work with us at mylocalradio.com. We were able to give you the volleyball game last night as Westside went out and beat Aberdeen to kind of end the regular season for volleyball yesterday. And a special shout out and thank you to the coaches and staff of the Aberdeen football program. Braden Driscoll, Derek Jolly, Jared Reed, Joe Ingersoll, Vince King, CJ Harris, and Cesar Serna. A special shout out to those fantastic staff members that allow us lights. We hope that they're having a good time, and when the time comes, they drive back home safely. We're going to go ahead, take one more quick break, come back to you right after this for the continuation of our third quarter right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
Franklin County Medical Center is proud to provide excellence in surgical and specialty healthcare right here in our community, making it extremely convenient to receive world-class care without even leaving the county. The best part is that we work closely with your primary care physicians to ensure a convenient and coordinated care experience. Our skilled surgeons are continually adding services to Franklin County, some you won't find anywhere in the greater Cache Valley area. Discover what is available right here at fcmc.org/specialty. You just might be surprised at what we have to offer.
Whether it's your vehicle, home, business, or even life, protecting the things that matter most shouldn't be left to chance. At Farm Bureau, the Smith Agency, everything that is important to you is important to us. That's why our office and agents are united to protect your future and give you peace of mind today. I'm Brittany Smith. As your local Farm Bureau agents, my husband Braden and I would love to customize and simplify plans that are unique to you and what you care about. Stop in today and see how Farm Bureau can make insurance simple for you.
Welcome back, West Side fans and fans of the Aberdeen Tigers here. We're getting ready for our third quarter today, brought to you by Preston Auto Parts Car Quest, your one-stop shop for all your auto parts needs downtown Preston. So Aberdeen's going to go ahead and we'll try and give you the score of what's happening out in Montpelier between Soda Springs and Bear Lake as soon as we possibly can. Hyatt Beck and Marshall Elliott will go out and return for the Tigers. West Side will tee it up, and Easton Shirtliff will get ready to boot this thing away and start our second half. 15-0 on our Logan Northwest Schwab scoreboard, and we apologize. Halftime is not the greatest for us internet-wise. We're sharing a cell tower with everybody else in Dayton that's here at the game, so when everybody hops onto their phones, we kind of get a little bit of a spotty internet connection. It will get better once the third quarter continues forward. Thank you for being patient with us in our internet. Easton Shirtliff will kick it off. It's going to be short, take a bounce at the 20-yard line, and be saved from going out of bounds. And Elliott will grab it before it rolls out of bounds and then just step out. And I think Elliott, if he had a chance to kind of think about that one maybe a little bit longer, could have realized that if he had let that ball roll out of bounds, it would have been given the Tigers much greater field position than their own 15, make that 14-yard line. Comes Aberdeen on their first chance in the second quarter. Right side is Hyatt Beck. Brody will hand it off. No, keep it himself on the right side and go up the hole. Gets met by the defensive line of the Pirates. Picks up 1, maybe 2. Second down and 8 coming up for the Tigers at their own 15-yard line. Thank you for your patience for our internet connection. It is a little bit spotty coming out of halftime. Brody Beck will get the snap at his own 15, hand it off to the left for Hyatt Beck, and he gets a cut, and it goes out to the left and gets caught from behind, gets smashed 2 yards short of the sticks, down to the 22. 22-yard line is where the Pirates are going to have to make a stand defense. You were denied once in the red zone. You've got to get some points. Luckily, third down and 1 is something that the Tigers have been very good this year being able to get. Brody Beck will cut and go up the middle, fakes the handoff to the right, goes all the way to the 35, picks up the chains and much, much more. Colby Bowles was there, so was Crew Sage. 34-yard line, first down and 10, working out of their own side of the field. Beck get the handoff and hand it up into the middle. Here comes a big hole for Hyatt Beck. He's down to the 50-yard line and down the sideline, gets pushed in the back out of bounds by Colton Gunderson. No, that's Garrett Robinson, Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. Here at Lyle S. Henderson Field, we're working off of a cell tower, so when everybody kind of uses the internet at the same time, we suffer a little bit, but now we're going to get back into our normal coverage. Hopefully our internet will come back. First down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Aberdeen needing some scores. Beck will survey the field in the shotgun. Brody switches the formation, has Hyatt go from his right to his left. Offset to the right, short motion. They'll give it off to Elliott. No, fake it up the middle, and Brody will get swallowed. Grabbing him around the thighs and then dragging him down at the ankles was Dallas Nelson. Second down and 8. maybe perhaps a, no, 2nd down and 9. Barely a yard pickup. $9:16 left in the 3rd quarter. Westside up 15-0 on the Logan North Les Schwab scoreboard. Tigers inching into Pirate territory. They'll give it off to Hyatt on the left side. He runs off of his tackle. Gang tackled after a pickup of 6. Past the 20-yard line and down to the 16. 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers. Tigers can definitely get back into this ball game with some points here. Cannot afford to be turned away a 2nd time in this battle between football giants. Beck will go up into the middle. Grabbing the back shirt is Easton Shirtliff of Brody Beck. He goes across the 15, close to the sticks, 4th down and 1. And, you know, 4th down and 1, and you can imagine that this play right here could really set a tone considering the amount of time offenses in this game have eaten up the clock. The Tigers were turned away in the red zone in the 2nd quarter last time. They cannot afford to be turned away this time. Beck will get it, hand it off to Hyatt, and he gets wrapped up in the backfield and spun down. A tackle for a loss and a turnover on downs. Highlight play by Aaron McDaniel. Massive play. That's incredible, 7:43, and you got to mark this down, 7:43 in the 3rd quarter. Aaron McDaniel, tackle for loss that steers away Aberdeen, and our keys to the game that we mentioned in halftime. The Tigers needed to get that percentage up higher. They're sitting right now 0 for 2 in the red zone. Right side handoff to Crusage, and not to be outdone, number 6, Brody Beck, takes his frustrations and his energy on the defensive side of the ball, tackles Crusage for a 2-yard loss in the backfield on a left side toss for the Pirates. 2nd down and 10 from their own 15, working from right to left. 7:15 left in the 3rd quarter. 15-0 on the Logan North Les Schwab scoreboard. Brown with the far side motion. They'll give it off to Moser on the sweep. Right side, he's trying to find the corner. Cuts up, and he has a hurdle up and towards the numbers. Picks up 8. 3rd down and 4. No, maybe closer. 3rd down and 3 for the Pirates after a huge run on the right side. Moser hesitated, waited, and finally decided to cut up the field after a block on the far sideline by a fellow teammate. I believe that was maybe perhaps Easton Shirtliff that got out there to clear the way. 3rd down and 2 for the Pirates at their own 25. Brown looks to the backfield, Shirtliff behind him. Near side motion, they'll give it off to Shirtliff in the middle, and he buries his head, squirts through a couple different tackles, and he gets past the sticks for a 1st down pickup for the Pirates. First and 10 for the Westside Pirates at the 28-yard line. Closer to the right hash, Garrett Robinson rolls into the offensive huddle. Gives Eli Brown the play call. The Pirates mosey on towards the line of scrimmage. Out on an island is Garrett Robinson on the near side in front of the bench. Shirtliff behind Brown, far side motion from Parker. They'll give it up into the middle for Shirtliff, and he doesn't get anywhere, maybe 1 or 2. Shirtliff, you know, gets met initially at the line of scrimmage, but the line of scrimmage being won by the offensive line of Westside, it almost looks as though Easton Shirtliff isn't picking any type of yardage at all, but it's because the offensive line of Westside is moving the defensive line of Aberdeen, 1.5 yards down the field. 2nd down and 8 from the 30. Brown will look to pass. A short breaking ball on the slant, and it's caught by Colby Bowles. At the 40-yard line, falls forward for an extra 5 and a first down pickup to the 45-yard line of Westside. Bowles makes a shimmy move right on the line of scrimmage on the near side, comes back into the middle of the field, catches it from Brown, falls forward, and that's another first down for the Westside Pirates. Left side hash, Brown, near side motion. This is Crusade. He'll get the handoff and go right up into the middle. Keeps on his feet, stumbles forward off of 2 feet and 1 hand. Almost like a bear crawl type of deal. Gets close to the sticks, and we're waiting for it, and they're going to move the sticks forward. First down for the Pirates on a 10-yard pickup. 4:29 left in the 3rd quarter. Clock will continue to roll. Interesting score for football being played in Montpelier. Bear Lake 14, Soda Springs 6. And that's a score to keep an eye on, absolutely, if you're interested in District 5 play. Short pickup on the ground in the middle, 2nd down and 7 for the Pirates, who have driven into Preston down 21-7. They playing Century tonight? Pocatello. Preston playing Pocatello. They're down 21-7. 2nd down and 7. Brown under center. He'll hand it off to the left side for Moser. Cut up the middle of the field. Spins around another tackler. Another one. Brought down to the 31-yard line. That is tricky, slippery running from Parker Moser. So hard to get a beat on him. And another first down pickup. 3:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Got to get the offensive huddle in there because Brown once again will get the motion, hand it off on the sweep to Moser on the right side. He cuts up in the middle again. Get caught up in the arms of number 72, Christian Ortiz. 2nd down and 4. And the Pirates just eating up what has been a grinded out type of ball game tonight. This is one that you might expect from two teams that run that power type of running, wing T. We get a late whistle, or rather an early whistle, calling it dead. We're going to get a false start on West Side. So instead of 2nd down and 4, we're going to get 2nd down and 9. 2:39 left in the 3rd quarter, brought to you by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Moser has come out, Coach Moser has come out onto the field, gives Colby Bowles the call. Rolling into the offensive huddle. Second down and 9 from the 32 of the Tigers. Left side handoff. Moser squeezes through a couple different tacklers, ducks underneath another one, down to the 20-yard line. Finally caught and brought down. A first down pickup again by the Pirates. Rushing yards just being added to the total, well over 150 yards. I dare say we're flirting closer to upwards of 200 tonight for the Pirates between Moser and Shirtliff. Brown gets the snap, hands it off to Shirtliff on the left side, and he finds a crease forward and gets caught around the ankles and falls. 5-yard gain on the left side, on the left hash. Into the red zone, the Pirates will go. 2nd down and 5 from the Tiger 15-yard line. Just under 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Brought to you by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Westside up 15-0. Threatening to score again late in the 3rd. Brown gets the snap, pitch out to the left side and the short side of the field. Crusade takes the pitch and gets grabbed. 65, Emmanuel Carrillo. Both teams have only had one chance at holding on to possession of the football, and we are close to ending the third quarter. Garrett Robinson bringing the play call out here. And, tonight, a lot of storylines coming into this one. The first one being that new quarterback Brody Beck has come into the game after Gage Driscoll blew out or hurt his knee, rather. Left side dive on the left, opposite of the strength side of the formation by Easton Shirtliff. He gets close to the sticks, and they're going to put it right on the 10-yard line for a first down. First and goal from the 10-yard line of Aberdeen. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Brody Beck not unfamiliar with the quarterback position. I mean, he's done really well tonight running the football in replacement of Gage Driscoll, who went down with a knee injury in the Malad warm-ups a couple weeks ago. Brown to Moser on the left, and he gets met right in the hole and brought down. Big tackle by Brody Beck, who read the play very well. And that play is going to bring us into our fourth quarter. Time running out for the Tigers and a comeback. Got to make a stop and go the length of the field to make this a little bit closer. We'll go into the fourth quarter, brought to you by Papa J's Beef Jerky. World-class jerky, small town USA. Papa J's in Clifton, Idaho. We'll come back right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you'll be appreciated. It's even better to know that you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciates every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car or truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in where you'll be treated like a friend. 17 South State Street, Preston.
We welcome you into our fourth quarter tonight, brought to you by Papa J's Beef Jerky and Deli out of Clifton, Idaho. Small town, world-class jerky in small town USA. Westside leads 15-0, knocking on the door once again. It's a second down and 10. Rather, it's second and goal from the 10-yard line, working inwards into the red zone. After a quick powwow on the opposite side of the field, we will switch sides. Our chain gang flipping sides of the field, now going from north to south to end the ball game. The Westside Pirates looking to find the final score and maybe perhaps the haymaker that they need to put this game a little bit out of reach for the Tigers. As for the Tigers, their defense needing to make a stand right now in order to make this thing a little bit closer and to give them a chance to come back into this one. Obviously not insurmountable, but given the situation, it'd be difficult. Right side toss to Moser. He finds a lead blocker, but Shirtliff misses the block, and in comes the number 10 for Aberdeen, Anthony Mosqueda. The senior tackles Parker Moser right at the line of scrimmage on that right side pitch. 11:30 left in the fourth quarter. And coming into this game, the Tigers offensively averaging 36 points per game, but the Westside defense have held them down to nothing so far. Pass out on the left side, caught by Cruz Sage, and that's a touchdown for the Westside Pirates. Rolling out to the left, Eli Brown finds an open man in Cruz Sage, and that is massive. A huge haymaker for the Pirates with 11:13 in the fourth quarter. PAT attempt coming up. PAT attempt coming up. Easton Shirtliff Snap is down, kick is up through the uprights. Yes! 22-0 is your score here at Westside. We'll take a quick break, come back to you right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com.
In 1996, my father, Jay Moyle, started producing gourmet beef jerky in the foothills of Clifton, Idaho. Now, over 20 years later, Papa Jay's beef jerky is a staple of the Franklin County community. Family run since the beginning, the modern way of making jerky here at Papa Jay's is the old-fashioned way. Absolutely no shortcuts are taken in producing the finest quality and most delicious smoked meat you can find. Come over to Papa Jay's and bite into a tender, flavorful stick of Papa Jay's, and your view of jerky will never be the same. 10 South Main Highway, Clifton, Idaho.
North Star's Ultimate Outdoors is the best provider of power sport vehicles right here in downtown Preston. Vehicles and equipment from brand names that you know and trust, like Steel, Polaris, and Yamaha. Stop in and let us get you ready for your next adventure at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors. It's where the fun starts, 777 North State Street, Preston.
Welcome back, and the kickoff from Shirtlift high into the air, just past and over the head of Elliott into the goal line, and that will be a touchback. Here come the Tigers, down 22-0 to the Pirates here on the Logan Northwest Schwab scoreboard, looking for points desperately in this game to inch closer with a chance. And we haven't really seen a situation this entire year where Aberdeen has really been down. Their offense has kept them in front. They've averaged 36 points a game. And right now, coming into the fourth, they have not scored up until this point with a 0 right now, trying to find some type of answer. Beck will head up to the middle and get swarmed by the Pirates, led by number 67, Jackson Beckstead. 11 minutes remaining exactly in our Papa Jay's fourth quarter, 2nd down and 9 from about the 21. And I would be surprised, I would imagine that in order to try and stop this clock from rolling, if whatever pass plays you might have right now in the offensive playbook for Aberdeen, you might want to pull them out. Beck will run into his own running back, but after a little bit of a collision in the backfield, up the hole he will go. A pickup of 7 by number 2, Wesley Nelson, the junior. Coming in from the slot position on motion, almost comes in, runs into his quarterback, turns 90 degrees and goes straight up the field, where a big old valley split open, almost looked like Moses in the Red Sea, except it wasn't the Red Sea, it was the Maroon Sea. Gained 7. Beck will look to pass. He has nobody open, scrambles in the pocket, looks out to his right, falls forward, being brought down. He gets a gain of 1 after being wrapped up initially in the backfield. 4th down and 1. With 9:30 left in the fourth quarter. Brody Beck rolled out to his left side. He had 2 men out, into one in a short route towards the sideline and one into an intermediate route. Both covered very well, tucked it himself and tried to roll forward for the 1st down. And you could imagine that Beck probably can try and get this with his own feet. 1st down pickup by Hyatt Beck. Barely past the line. That is a 1st down for the Tigers. 9 minutes remaining left in the fourth quarter.
Updated score from Soda Springs, Bear Lake 21, Soda Springs 6.
Bear Lake leading Soda Springs and Montpelier 21-6. Coming out of halftime. Into the third quarter they will go. Brody hands it off to keeps it himself, follows his blocker on the right side and up the hole. Brody Beck followed Cale Adamson after the read option in the backfield, goes up the hole and picks up a massive gain of about 15 down to the 43-yard line. Or rather, should I say, up to the 43-yard line on the right hash. Brody once again with the read, hands it off. Up the hole goes Beck. And he gets stood up after a gain of 1 on the left side. Hyatt Beck was given the read option. Was met by Jackson Beckstead in the hole, fell forward for a gain of 2. Down to the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. Midway through this 4th quarter, trailing 22-0 to the Pirates on our Logan North Les Schwab scoreboard. Left side handoff. This is Elliott who gets the corner, goes around the end, gets to the 40-yard line, and we might be having this big run called back. I think we might see a hold on the left side. It's in the area of holding, and yes, it is. Our white hat gives the indication that I believe that was the left guard. Couldn't tell you who it was. Christian Ortiz, perhaps. And that's going to back up the Tigers even farther. Sticks will go farther backwards. Down to the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 18 for the Tigers in their offense. Brody Beck will strut up to the line with his offensive squad to his left, or rather to his right. He'll keep it, fake the pitch, go up the hole, doesn't fool the defensive line, Dallas Nelson. 2-yard pickup, 3rd down and 15. Moves the line of scrimmage up to the 37-yard line on the left hash, working from south to north, right to left. And you have to, up until this point, you have to applaud, really, truly, the Pirate defense, who has held a outstanding offense for Aberdeen tonight, averaging 36 points per game, right now to nothing with only 6 minutes and 40 seconds left remaining in regulation. Beck will hand it off to other Beck up the hole and towards the sideline. He gets to the right, bounces off a potential tackle at the 48 and falls forward to the 50 on the right. 4th down and 3. Hyatt Beck got the handoff, and he made a move and made up quite a substantial amount of yards. 4th down and 3 it's going to be for the Tigers. No turning back now. Let's see what they can do. Right at midfield. Anything forward will go into Pirate territory. Anything backwards will go deeper into their own. Brody hands it off to Hyatt out to the right side, and he gets spun around past the sticks on the right hash. 1st down pickup, just what the doctor ordered right there in order to keep the drive alive. 5:45. Down to the Pirate 42-yard line. In the shotgun, Brody will get it, hand it off to Hyatt onto the left. Squeaks past and through the hole on the left side. Up towards the sticks, he'll be short by about 1 yard, however. Down to the 34. That read option between Hyatt and Brody has been the bread and butter for the Tigers tonight, and they've moved the field, or rather they've moved the offense up and down the field. The biggest key to the game right now, if you're just tuning in, the score 22-0 in favor of the Pirates. It is that Aberdeen has gotten into the red zone twice in this ball game and was stood up and denied points, both on 4th down. They're 0 for 2 in the red zone, and that is what has led to, I believe, the score and the key stat tonight. Brody will pass back out to the near side. It is caught by Adamson. No, that is Metal. Metal catches it to the 30-yard line and goes down. Enough for a first down pickup, and that will be enough. Then the read option, if you're unfamiliar with it, as maybe perhaps my wonderful wife has explained, not everybody is. The read option is a type of play call in the backfield wherein the quarterback is given the jurisdiction to read the defense while in the process of handing off the ball to determine where the run will go. He did it right there, and Brody Beck falls forward, fakes it to the right side, and picks up, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, back maybe a couple inches, 2nd down and 10. At the 30-yard line of the Pirates for the Tigers. Falling underneath 4 minutes now here in a crisp Friday night, middle of October. Brody will send Hyatt to the right side in motion, give it back to him coming up to the left. Falling forward, picking up a gain of 3 to the 26-yard line, maybe 26. 3rd down and 7. 3 timeouts remaining for both teams. Worthy to note, as this clock will continue to grind and roll to 3 minutes left in regulation. Brody in the shotgun will fake the read, go up and throw to the right side. It is caught by Adamson on the right side towards the sticks, past the sticks rather, by about 5 yards and near the numbers. It's a good little smash route into the corner by Cale Adamson, the senior. 2:45, clock will continue to roll, and this is the 3rd time that the Tigers will go into the red zone. Down to the 15. Beck hands it off to Hyatt. In the middle, dances and rolls forward to about the 4-yard line. Closing in on some points are the Tigers of Aberdeen. They mark him down at the 5, 2nd down and 1 from the 5-yard line. Brody again in the shotgun to his right is Hyatt. He'll fake it, keep it himself, go up the hole. He's got some space, and he'll fall into the end zone, keep his feet actually. That's a touchdown for Brody Beck and the Aberdeen Tigers. They get out onto the board. 6-0, pending the PAT. Point after coming up. We'll see what the Tigers elect to do. Westside is up 22-6 currently right now, under 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. They're gonna go for a 2-point conversion. I don't see why not. Brody again in the shotgun. To his left is Hyatt. They'll hand it off on the sweep to Elliott. He'll find the corner and skip into the end zone. Beats Colby Bowles to the pylon. He'll go in. 2-point conversion successful. 22-8. Tigers come back into it. And we're going to take a quick timeout coming up after this one. Aberdeen scores in the red zone. We'll come back with more action and the conclusion of this ball game right after this on 105.5 KACH, 1340 AM, and mylocalradio.com. Papa J's World Headquarters in Clifton, Idaho, started on the dream of a man who wanted to give back to his small-town farming community. 20 years later, it's a place renowned for its gourmet beef jerky, deli, and uniquely friendly customer experience. The friendly staff at Papa J's invites you to come in or find them online at papajs.com, where you can have the unique taste of Papa J's beef jerky shipped to you all with a click of a button. Papa J's, world-class jerky in small-town USA. papajs.com.
With over 24 years of building multifamily and commercial projects across the Intermountain West, Procon stands apart as a leader in the custom framing industry, driven by the standard of delivering the highest level of customer service, high-quality work, and integrity. Procon is dedicated to building multifamily and commercial properties that exceed customer expectations. Visit online to see why Procon stands above the rest at buildprocon.com.
In 1996, my father, Jay Moyle, started producing gourmet beef jerky in the foothills of Clifton, Idaho. Now, over 20 years later, Papa Jay's beef jerky is a staple of the Franklin County community. Family run since the beginning, the modern way of making jerky here at Papa Jay's is the old-fashioned way. Absolutely no shortcuts are taken in producing the finest quality and most delicious smoked meat you can find. Come over to Papa Jay's and bite into a tender, flavorful stick of Papa Jay's, and your view of jerky will never be the same. 10 South Main Highway, Clifton, Idaho.
North Star's Ultimate Outdoors is the best provider of power sport vehicles right here in downtown Preston. Vehicles and equipment from brand names that you know and trust, like Steel, Polaris, and Yamaha. Stop in and let us get you ready for your next adventure at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors. It's where the fun starts, 777 North State Street, Preston.
Intermediate kick by number 7, Nick Metal, will go out of bounds towards the Aberdeen sideline. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, and now we will see the Westside Pirates come back out onto the field. They're up 22-8 with 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. And now our officials will determine where that ball will be placed. It will be at the 35-yard line. Colby Bowles will run into the offensive huddle, and Westside is will spread out. They move the ball forward down to the 37-yard line. Brown will go again under center, hand it off into the middle and to the left for Gunderson. Gunderson making a few people miss. Gets past the sticks for a 13-yard gain and a rush. And we've seen Colton Gunderson be able to really do some things really well when he comes in offensively. And does great things defensively, as we already know. We talked with Coach Moser in the pregame show a little bit about what Colton Gunderson does. He adds a lot of spark and a lot of fire to this team. Brown will get the countdown from the white hat, waiting for this thing to count down. We're under 90 seconds now in this game. Brown will go under center, near side motion. They'll hand it off to Gunderson once again. Goes into the hole with a full head of steam, bounces off the initial pile and gets close to the sticks, down to the 37-yard line of Tigers, and they'll give it to him. A first down pickup by Colton Gunderson. 1 minute remaining left in our Papa Jay's fourth quarter. Don't tune in anywhere. Stay with us for the Ralph's Construction postgame show right after this, where we'll touch up on our stats and our play of the game and future broadcasts, including our district tournament for volleyball tomorrow in Malad. Brown once again, they'll hand it off on the sweep for Cruz Sage. Following his offensive lineman, goes to the right sideline and spins around, backpedals to the 31. Pickup of 6, and I believe that is going to do it for the rest of the game. Your Westside Pirates will beat Aberdeen 22-8 at home at Lyle S. Henderson Field. Crucial, as it was mentioned before, an absolutely essential conference win makes things interesting. Aberdeen now will head to Bear Lake next week with the chance for a three-way tie at a district title if they beat Bear Lake out in Montpelier. Thank you so much for joining us here on mylocalradio.com. Our final on the Logan Northwest Schwab scoreboard, West Side 22, Aberdeen 8. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back to you with the Rouse Construction postgame show right after this on mylocalradio.com.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by West Motors, your only stop for new or used cars in Preston and in Logan. Stokes Market True Value with the freshest meat and produce in town. Webb Funeral Home, serving Preston and surrounding communities since 1925. Ralph's Construction, building homes in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston. Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care you'll receive in all of the Cache Valley. Preston Auto Parts CarQuest, with all the parts you need for your car to keep it running strong. Naylor Insurance, for home, health, life, and auto from Mutual of Enumclaw. Procon Homes, building quality multifamily homes across the West. By Les Schwab Tires, stop in and see the tire experts on Main Street in North Logan. North Star's Ultimate Outdoors, get ready for your next outdoor adventure at North Star's Ultimate Outdoors in Preston. Evergreen Financial, when planning your future, trust the experts at Evergreen Financial in Preston. Level 10 Life, reach your next level in life with their life coaching sessions. Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Don't leave the things that matter to chance. Call Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency today. Northern Title, the trusted name in the tri-state area. And by Papa J's Deli and Jerky in Clifton. Now stay tuned for the Rouse Construction postgame show, coming up next.
Welcome back to our post-game show, brought to you today by Ralph's Construction, building in the Blue Sage Park area of Preston, custom homes by Ralph's Construction. The Westside Pirates will beat the Aberdeen Tigers in an essential conference matchup 22-8 off of the legs of Parker Moser and Easton Shirtliff. Also throwing for one touchdown is Eli Brown to Cruz Sage. Those four doing it all for the Pirates tonight. Nice little school fight song from Westside at the end of this one. We'll get ready for a game against Malad next week, also at home, and see what kind of district standings will happen as Aberdeen will travel out to Montpelier to take on the Bear Lake Bears to see who will receive the district title in football this year. We're going to go ahead and dip into our post-game stats today, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, the Smith Agency. Over 200 yards rushing for the Pirates tonight off of the legs of Easton Shirtliff and Parker Moser. Eli Brown didn't throw a ton of passes tonight, but when he did, he made them count, including the haymaker touchdown pass with 11:13 left in the fourth quarter. Eli Brown drops back and finds Cruz Sage on the far side, shallow route. Sage makes one man miss and dances into the end zone to put the Pirates up 22-0. Late in the fourth quarter, Brody Beck will take it himself, bring it a little bit closer with under 2 minutes left on a 8-yard touchdown run. Brody Beck really impressed me tonight as the senior comes in and does it really well off of the power offense exhibited by Aberdeen tonight. They have a real chance, and it will be a great matchup as they play the Bears next week. Thank you so much for joining us here on mylocalradio.com and on 105.5 KACH. Our play of the game will go in the third quarter with 7:43 left. Aberdeen drives the length of the field to start the second half, looking to close the gap. At that point, the game was 15-0. On fourth down and short, Aaron McDaniel busts through the offensive line of Aberdeen and meets Hyatt Beck in the backfield and stops the Aberdeen Tigers, a turnover on downs, and that was your dagger for the Westside Pirates tonight and our play of the game. On behalf of all of us here at mylocalradio.com in the Preston office, I am Cody Olsen saying thank you so much. On behalf of our executive producer, Val Cook, our audio-visual technician, John Beverly, back in the studio, who does a fantastic job, and our voice of the Preston Indians, the voice of the Preston Indians, Dan Hubbard. Why did that leave my mind? I work with Dan every day. Dan Hubbard, back there as Preston is playing Pocatello tonight. The halftime score was 21-7. Don't know what that score is now, but you can check that out on mylocalradio.com, including all of our colleagues in the Wyoming offices. Aaron Poling, the voice of the Rich Rebels in Randolph, Utah. Elin Olive, the voice of the Evanston Red Devils. And Dennis Bedwell, the voice of the Valley for Mountain View and Lyman High School. Special shout out to Dreyer Bedwell, our expert from Aberdeen that joined us in our pregame show today. Thank you to all of those that tuned in as well. We're going to say thank you and have a wonderful weekend and a fantabulous good night. Drive safe and go Pirates.
The preceding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated.